everybody. Welcome to the Right Idea Workshop YouTube edition. I'm Ryan. Justin's working, so we thought I'd make a video to, supplement the website. I'm going to be talking to you about some some books that help me write comics by people that are pretty influential and have helped me the past couple months/years in my own comic book writing pursuits. So, without further ado, let's jump into it with Panel 1. There it is. Panel 1. Which is a comic book writing, it's comic book scripts by top writers, if you can read there. Includes people like Neil Gaiman, Kurt Busiek, Nat Gertler, Dwayne McDuffie, Trina Robbins, Greg Rucka, Jeff Smith, Kevin Smith, and Marv Wolfman. And one of the things that makes this book especially dear to me is when I saw Neil Gaiman back in July, I got him to sign my book. That was the post-it that they made us put on the book. And down here, there's Mr. Gaiman's signature telling me to dream. And he had to sign 2,000 books, and it was not a very big talk by any stretch of the imagination, but he still had to sign a whole lot of books, and he took the time to write Dream to me, and we talked a little bit beforehand, and I got a question answered during the panel. This book shows a lot of different scripting styles by a lot of different authors, and how they collaborate with artists and just their different writing styles, because there's a lot of different styles to writing comic books, and I didn't fully realize that until I started to try to write one seriously, because before I just kind of wrote stuff in screenplay format, but a script for a comic book is much more like a letter to the artist who's going to be drawing your comic book, and the only time that letter doesn't have to be super duper crazy detailed is when you're writing that letter to yourself, because you're also the artist, which is what I've been doing. But in the future I'd like to work with other people, so I've been trying to just overall perfect my script writing skills, and that book has been a big help because it details a lot of different types of scripts, a lot of different writing styles, and it's just very informative overall and entertaining. If you've read any of the comics that are in there, it's just interesting to see, in the liner notes from Neil Gaiman to the artist on Miracle Man. Some of the notes are just very casual, I will be sending a reference photo if you're confused as to what I'm talking about in this part, and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if the comics industry is totally like that anymore, since you can just email shit all the time, but I don't know, I thought it was entertaining. Second one is Writing for Comics by Peter David, which is much more focused on scripting and idea generation and, just exploiting the comic medium to its fullest, which I really enjoy. And I also have, this one's also signed. This book, for the longest time, was like the Bible to me. Peter David is an amazing writer, and he can write in so many different styles and so many different, passions or emphasis on different types of storytelling, that he's the kind of writer I aspire to be. So it was very humbling and awesome to get his signature on my copy of his book. The last one is Making Comics. Scott McCloud, who has also made books Understanding Comics and something that's a little more philosophy based, I think, about comics. I don't know. He also writes and draws his own comic, which is pretty badass. His book, Making Comics, is much more well-rounded than the other two books. It talks about everything they're doing with the comic book creation process, writing and finding a good artist to collaborate with, and like different sorts of transitions for both writers and artists that they can lean on to when they're bringing the story into print. Uh, there are just so many things that kind of opened my mind when I was trying to write and draw my own comics. Still am. Scott McCloud made it that much more digestible and entertaining to read, so gets on the list here. Uh, those are kind of my 3 recommendations for people that want to write comic books. If you have any other ones or anything that's really been particularly helping you, feel free to leave a comment below talking about that at all, or shoot us an email at thewriteideaworkshop@gmail.com. That'd be pretty cool. Go buy those books, go read whatever books you are reading, and keep on writing, everybody.